Welcome to this next episode of Millennial Real Life Budget Review. Today we are taking a look at a couple who owes their family $15,000 and daycare is just crushing their budget. Let's get into how we can rework things to help them level up in their finances. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Justine. Here we talk about all ways to help you achieve financial confidence, crush debt that leads to more fun and fewer payments. Thank you so much to today's sponsor, Save. Save is a financial platform that helps you earn more money in returns than you would in interest in a traditional or high yield savings account. And they do so by investing your money in the market, but more on that later. I want to tell you about this review because when it came across my desk, I was like, oh my goodness. Let's get into kind of the background of who this couple is. First, they are a speech language pathology assistant and customer success manager. They live in Louisville, Kentucky. When I asked, what is the biggest thing you struggle with financially? They said, we are in our 30s and want to start investing but have two small children. Our daycare is expensive and it can be difficult to make big financial progress towards debt, savings, and investing. We would like to be able to fund more trips too. Also, it's difficult to see a clear path towards our goals, savings, investing, trips, maybe a house one day. I asked what are their top 2 to 3 financial goals they want to accomplish. They said 1, pay off debt. 2, catch up our investing for a more secure retirement. 3, bigger savings, emergency fund, and saving for trips and vacations. They have just $3,000 in their emergency fund. And then they told me that they currently pay around $900 a month for daycare for their toddler. In the fall, they'll start paying closer to $1,800 a month for both the baby and the toddler. Honestly, for 2 kids, that's not bad. I currently work for a school system and for extra income and looking to take individuals speech therapy clients 1 day a week and work extended summer school to make more money. If I do this, it would average around $400 per month in extra income. Also, my husband started a new job in August that doubled his income, but we were pregnant at the time. We've had a lot of medical and baby expenses. We just had our second baby in March, yay! And we want to make some financial progress. I get it. So you're like, okay, we've had our kids. Now it's like, there's kind of 2 different phases, like having the baby phase and then raising the kids phase. And I'm not sure if you're in the raising kids phase or if you're like looking to continue to expand your family. However, we know that this is what it is. And so I want to see exactly what your budget looks like by popping it open. So let's go over to their budget. By the way, you're probably wondering like, what is this kitchen background situation that's going on? Well, if you haven't caught our We're Finally Leaving California video, we actually did leave California. And so my sister is letting me use her place to temporarily film until we find our house and get set up. There will be a whole video on the updates of where we're at kind of in this in-between phase between California and Kansas City. And yes, I'm like floating somewhere in between the two. However, I did want to make sure that we get into this budget because it did catch my eye. First of all, the total monthly income between the two of them is $65.99, so $6,600 in monthly income. And then they have 2 different debts here. They have student loans and then they have a family loan of $15,000. And I did check with this person and they said, you know, that loan was given to them a while back. They weren't being charged any interest, and it's kind of like, oh, you know, we give $20 here and there when we can. And so we're going to talk about addressing that because I never like to be in a situation where I'm owing family members money because it does change the dynamic of the relationship. Going down to their fixed expenses. So they have $760 for their rent mortgage, which is like peanuts nowadays. The daycare I can see is like definitely a big cost. $950 in groceries and toiletries, which is really high. And I know you have a toddler and a baby. Does this also include things like formula, baby food, diapers? I'm assuming yes, which would probably be the reason why it's so high. Gas of $175, $201 per month towards car insurance. I'm hoping that's for 2 vehicles. I think it is. Insurance of $110. I don't know if this is your homeowner's insurance or something else. And then your fun money stuff. I can't even believe this. $50 per month for clothing and $25 for shopping. I have have a hunch that your fund money spending is probably a little bit, maybe a lot more than what you've written down here, because this is totaling about $500, you still have a net of $1,000 left over. I have a feeling that this is much higher. So what I would love for you guys to do is track your spending in all categories for 1 month. I want you writing down every single transaction as they pop up. Have this spreadsheet open as a tab in your computer at all times and just start inputting those numbers into your budget, because I really want to see this. The emergency fund only gets $50. I know you said you had $3,000, and then the vacation fund has $25, investing has $90. I wonder where this $90 is really truly going, because you had talked about really bolstering up your investments and trying to figure out how you're going to catch up for retirement. Not to mention some other big financial goals that you might have along the way: getting a replacement car, starting a 529 plan, or building up for potentially a down payment to upgrade your home. This is where I think you might be interested in Market Savings by Save. So the Market Savings Program by Save is a way for you to invest into the market with no downside. And you're like, what? Hold up. Here's how it works. So Save blends saving and investing into one product called Market Savings. So essentially 2 accounts are open on your behalf. You'll have a savings account open with Webster Bank, which is FDIC insured, and then you'll have a second investing account opened with Apex Clearing, which is SPIC insured. Then Save will make an investment into your investment portfolio. There are 4 to choose from, and that investment will be held in your Apex account, and then the investment matures after 1 year and 1 day. So when I say 1 year, 1 day maturity, you're kind of thinking like a certificate of deposit, but you're also able to invest in the market. And on a daily basis, you'll be able to log in and track your performance through the Save app. Now, you can withdraw from Market Savings at any time. Just know if you withdraw before the maturity date that you could forfeit any potential returns and you'd be subject to any advisory fees or account costs. Right now, Market Savings is generating a variable annual percentage rate of 9% with a 1-year term. Now, I'm always on the lookout for ways for you to passively invest your money and generate a really great return, and Market Savings could just be the right fit for you. Definitely check out Market Savings by using my link below. Thank you so much for Market Savings by Save for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back into the review. So that is one way to help you with some of your investing goals, is to utilize some products such as Market Savings. That could be something of interest for you. However, I want to go back to this emergency fund because you have $3,000, and I truly want to see exactly how much 1 month of living expenses is for you, and then I'm going to multiply that by 2 and 3 to get your starter emergency fund. So I can already tell that your emergency fund is underfunded, and this is where we need to start. So 1 month of basic living expenses for you guys is about $4,300. And if I multiply it by 2, that's $8,500. Multiplied by 3 is almost close to $13,000. This is where I want you really focused, because your debts, I mean, the $15,000 is concerning. The student loans is actually, I think you guys are going to be able to knock that out really fast. But I really want you sprinting towards a hefty emergency fund. I mean, you could split the difference between $8,500 and $12,800, and let's call it 10. If you could have $10,000 in an emergency fund, in a high yield savings account that's earning over 4%, 5% interest, I want that liquid cash available to you, I think you would feel really confident. So that's goal number 1, is a $10,000. This is your starter emergency fund. Eventually, we're gonna build this up to 6 months. And 6 months is $25,000. And that would be the big pie in the sky emergency fund, basically. So that's what I want you to do. I also want you tracking diligently, especially the fund money stuff, especially the groceries. I want you tracking all of that inside of your budget. Number 1, this emergency fund should get way more than $50. In fact, according to this plan, you have over $1,000 left over. I don't think you do. It could be more like $500. And so I want to see how fast we can get this going so that you can get up to $10,000. So we need $7,000 divided by 500. So 14 months, just over a year. If you were going at a pace of $1,000, you could cut that in half. We could probably do it in like 7 months if you could truly put $1,000 per month towards the emergency fund. Then I want to go back up to the student loans and the family loan that you're paying on. So if we could truly put maybe $1,000 all in, because you're already putting $200 towards the student loans and the loan that you owe to your family, we could be debt-free in 2 years easily. Easily you could be debt-free in 2 years. I know that the daycare is crushing you because it is the biggest line item in your budget. And knowing that this is $1,800 for 2 kids, and what I've been seeing from California and now researching in Kansas City how much full-time daycare costs, honestly, I think that's really good. Given you guys are pulling in, $6,600 in income, I think we can make this work. And remember, the whole daycare situation is just temporary. Once those littles get into public school, then it's gonna be like a big fat pay raise for you guys. But I think you can still manage the daycare, manage the emergency fund and the debt, and make it out in one piece and do it very, very fast. Okay, you also mentioned that you just wanted to build up the emergency fund, the bigger savings. I agree that we definitely need to have a vacation fund that's putting more than $25, because let's be honest, a vacation for a family of 4 is gonna run well over $1,000, and we would never be able to take a vacation in the short term at $25 saved per month. So I definitely wanna see more money going there. $400 for miscellaneous feels very high, so I feel like we could even borrow from that and start putting more money towards vacations. So see how I'm doing this? I'm prioritizing the emergency fund still because it's getting the bulk of the discretionary income, the money after bills and our actual needs are met. And then I'm putting a little bit more towards vacation. So emergency fund still gets priority, but I'm actually adding a lot more towards vacation. And then you guys could take a really fun family trip somewhere together this summer, or even at the end of summer, early fall. I think that would be wonderful for you guys. And lastly, I just want to rework the priorities of your financial goals, because you told me first you wanted to crush debt and then do the investing, then build up the savings. We're going to actually reorder that by putting the savings up at the top. So the emergency fund savings should be number 1. Number 2 is crushing that debt. Number 3, really bolstering and building up your investments. If you're really focused on retirement specific investments, then we're going to focus on any employer-sponsored retirement plans such as a 401k or 403b. We are contributing up to the match first, up to the match, whatever your employer has. And then we're going to move into opening up a Roth IRA for you. I think Roth IRAs are so great because they have such great tax advantages, because they are taxed opposite of a 401k or traditional IRA. When you go to withdraw from the Roth IRA during retirement, those withdrawals are tax-free. It's so amazing. I've done a whole explainer video on Roth IRAs. If you want to check that out, I will link to that up here in the cards for you. And I think we're just going to slowly start working up to building up and maxing out those accounts, because you're going to do the employer-sponsored plan, you're going to do the Roth, we're going to go back to really maxing out your 401k, which that in itself, I think that's at $23,000. Let's see. Yeah, so it's $23,000 for the max contribution limit into a 401k. And oftentimes that does take people several years sometimes, if they're really just kind of waiting on salary bumps over the course of a year or 2, to really start maxing that out and move. And you can move at baby steps. If you're contributing 4.5%, let's try to do 5.5% the next year. Move at a pace that works best for you. And once you max it out, just let it ride. It's so easy, so wonderful. I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much to Market Savings by Save for sponsoring this video. If you want to get a blend of savings and investing and have access to the market, I think this is a really great product that you could look into to help fuel your bigger financial goals. I will link to the Market Savings program down below for you to check out. Thank you so much for Save for sponsoring this video. And if you want to have your budget anonymously reviewed on the channel. The Google form is linked below. The more information and details that you can give me, the more accurate my advice that I can give to you. And be sure you're subscribed to the channel and be part of the family. We are committed to building this channel to over 100,000 subscribers. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And I will catch you in the next one.